Hello, welcome to Gold Plasma TV, and today I am going to be sharing with you a tier list for Super Smash Bros., or rather an emulator. They all have the same attacks in the emulator and it runs pretty much the same, so I am going to be ranking the characters that are on the emulator, not all of the ones that are in the actual games. Let's start off with Sheik. Sheik, I don't really play with Sheik because every time I get Zelda, I just stick with Zelda. Sheik, he is no. I'm gonna sorry, Sheik. I'm gonna have to give you an F tier because Sheik sucks. I have played with him a little bit. Next up, let's do Link. Overall, Link was my starter main. Oh gosh, did not mean to do that. And I can understand why people would put him here. Anything lower than this is just absurd. But since I have so much training with him, I'm gonna have to put him on an S tier. That's just my personal opinion. Let's see, what other S tiers would I have out here? Black Mage. Pretty sure he's available in some sort of DLC in the actual game, but he's my current main. He's really good. He has a ton of attacks. It's hard to get them all down, but once you do, it's definitely worth it. Next up, okay, I'm going to do one more S tier, and that'll be it. My last S tier is going to be Samus. And I can understand, like, most of the tiers that I've seen have put him really low, like at B or at C. But, I mean, he has good melee, or she, I guess. She has good melee, she has good long range, but it does have a lot to do with either picking one or the other because it's hard to get both. Let's see. After that, we have Star Fox. Star Fox here. He used to be my worst character, actually, but once I got better with him, it was evident that as long as you don't fall off cliffs, he can be pretty good, but falling off cliffs is still an issue because his up B doesn't go very far. So Star Fox is right there on C tier. Afterwards, let's do Kirby. Kirby, I think, is going to be our first A tier because it's a really good character, but it's very vulnerable to grab attacks, and especially people who can do tons of damage, like our next character, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is great with melee, but he really can't do much of anything else. I mean, I guess the one where he slaps the ground really fast, I mean, that has a bit of range, not much, but he's the best melee out there other than maybe Marth. You know what? Marth is going to be an S tier, and for context, I'm moving Samus down to A tier because Marth is better than Samus, and if we divide this up evenly, there should only be 3 S tiers. But Samus is really close. I'm going to say that. Marth can do stuff really fast, whereas Donkey Kong and Samus are heavy duty. That makes them slow, and slow isn't necessarily good. Don't get me wrong, Donkey Kong is a lot slower. How much time do I've got left here? Okay, I've got a good amount of time. We've got Princess Peach is going to be... should I do somebody else? No, Princess Peach is good. Princess Peach is my last A tier because you've got the ha-cha thing with like the hearts and whatnot. I think it's definitely her best attack, and the Toad thing is really good, especially against people with long range who like to go close in afterwards. So although Samus is much better than Peach, Peach could totally beat Samus. Just overall, Samus is better, though. Let's see, who are we going to put on next? Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff gets a solid B. Because Jigglypuff is kind of like Kirby, just not as good. That's all I'm going to say about that. It has that one that does a lot of damage and does the Smash Bat sound effect, but it's not nearly as good as the Smash Bat, and it only does like 14%, or somewhere around there. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see. Captain Falcon. You know what? Captain Falcon is the worst. He's the worst character in the game. He sucks. And I prepared, actually, before this video, a special section just for him. he goes in the G tier because that's how sucky he is. You can't even see him because I placed that square on last, but that's where he deserves to be. He doesn't even deserve to be seen. Mario also sucks. F tier. He has a decent up B, and his blocking stuff is pretty good, but a lot of characters can do that. I mean, Black Mage can do that, albeit slightly slower. Our next C tier is going to be Sonic. He has the ready go, and his down B or down A is pretty good if you can aim it correctly. Ness. Ooh, Ness. Sorry, Peach, you're going down to B tier. Because Ness is really nice. If you can get some distance, PK Thunder is actually really good. PK Fire is good for when they're a moderate amount away from you, and he has the baseball bat for when they're not. And Yoshi. Yoshi is going to be our last C tier because he's good at getting up. He's not good at much else. I guess he can do his down thing where he turns into an egg, but that's not that good. He can eat people. If he can time that right, it's pretty good, but it's still probably not enough in most scenarios. Zero Suit Samus. I don't want to reset the image, thank you. F tier. Sorry. Zero Suit Samus is something that probably somebody could get good at, but it's just not for me. And it probably takes a lot of training, not really worth it. Who do we have next? Our D and E tiers are still not filled in. So I'm going to put Pikachu on D tier. Because Pikachu was actually my first ever main, so forget what I said about Link. Just Link was the one for the most of the time that I've been playing this game. I only recently switched to Black Mage, and I had a friend over who's actually pretty good at this game and also posts on this channel. Be sure to check his stuff out. But he told me Pikachu sucks. And then I found out Pikachu does in fact suck. Mega Man, it's like the only arguably good one is Metal Man. If you're gonna pick Mega Man, you should switch to Metal Man or just stick with his regular thing, which is the charge attack. Charge attack is pretty good, but only if you can time it right. I'm good at timing things right, but I'm still not good at that. Wario, E tier. His up B, meh. Pretty much all his other attacks, meh, and he's just too slow. He's like Donkey Kong if he didn't do that much damage. At least he can get up slightly better. I know Bomberman isn't actually in the actual games, but he is an assist trophy in the actual game, so I decided to include him. Basically, in the emulator, he can just throw bombs and then make them detonate, but he also has a really nice up B, although it does have a delay. It does damage to pretty much everything underneath it. And if you can get stuff around the map, it sounds like it would be good, but all the bombs go off at the same time once you hit the detonate switch, which is going to put them at the D tier because if you could detonate them one at a time, it would be really nice. Now, by process of elimination, Zelda and Meta Knight both go on the E tier. Meta Knight is a great character for most people, shouldn't be that far low, but just remember, none of these are 100% correct because it's always the personal opinion of the person who makes it, and in my opinion, I'm not good at Meta Knight, therefore it's an E tier. Zelda, meh, it's okay, but they kind of nerfed Zelda when they were creating it because they planned for people to switch to Sheik some of the time, this guy, but you should never do that because he sucks. So G tier, F tier, E tier, C, D tier, all the way to the top with my S tiers. Be sure to check out Super Smash Flash 2. That's what I play it on, as you can see with the title here. And that's where I'm going to end our first video on Gold Plasma TV. See you guys next time, or maybe I won't, because it might be somebody else recording. Bye!